After all that shit talk from Jamahal over social media, he does not back up his words when confronting Alex Pereira at the UFCPI. Alex Pereira offered to spar him right then and there, giving Jamahal the chance to at least win some confidence or something, some closure. So when they head into the rematch, at least he knows, all right, I already saw it as a fluke. Now I see it even more as a fluke because I was piecing the guy up in sparring. But nope, he denies it. He chucks down the gloves. He waits for Plinio Cruz, Alex Pereira's coach, to get involved. Waits for the fighters to kind of get their eyes on the situation and waits for a crowd to kind of get around them whilst they're kind of, verbally jousting at each other. Not by much. I mean, Alex Pereira doesn't speak English, and for the most part, he's just groaning and mumbling and saying Jamahal over and over again. But hey, if you haven't seen the altercation, here it is. I mean, at first it's Jamahal saying for free, like he wants to whoop Alex Pereira's ass for free or something like that. But nope, he chucks the gloves down, says he wants to do a bare knuckle, but doesn't back that up either. Plinio Cruz gets involved. Everybody's kind of eyeing up the situation. Then Plinio says, all right, now wait. You got a fight with Yuri. He doesn't say that exactly, but you got to fight with Yuri. Let's fight for money. Let's make some money off of this and that kind of stuff. But man, Jamahal did not back up his words there. And my favorite part of the altercation, people might say, oh, it's Jamahal turning down the spar and being cowardly and whatnot. No. My favorite part of the altercation is the very beginning. The very beginning when Jamahal walks up to Pereira. As Pereira's trying to give a fist bump to kind of, he's not into rivalries anymore. He's not like the kickboxing Pereira that, was posting Adesanya getting knocked out whenever Adesanya was defending his middleweight title. No. He's more friendly now. He just wants to have fights, have fun and stuff, tour the world. So with that in mind, he was just trying to give Jamahal a fist bump, even though they've had some jousts at each other over social media. But Jamahal,
not on Twitter now.
Talking on Twitter now. Alex Pereira apparently is the one shitting all over Jamahal in Jamahal's eyes. This, I didn't put all the tweets together because that would take, a long time to find even the deleted ones and stuff. But here's an accurate kind of ratio. Pretty much for every one Alex Pereira tweet. Alright, for one Alex Pereira tweet, we see 10 Jamahal tweets. And this is when they acknowledge each other, alright? And this isn't random tweets and stuff. This is when they acknowledge each other. Alex Pereira says, calm down, my son. If you pass the test, I'll give you another chance. That's one tweet. He also said, reap and sow, some tweet a month ago, which I saw. I didn't include it, but, that's somewhere there lingering on social media. But then it's just Jamahal going after everyone. Fans, Bisping, Pereira, and even himself. He's trying to reaffirm it to himself constantly. That, all right, it was a fluke. The ref got in the way. He pushed me up against the cage. He cut me off. And that's what allowed, the left hook to land. First of all, Alex Pereira doesn't pressure. Kinda. He pressures by moving to the side a little bit. Yes, he does kind of cut off the cage. Okay? They touched gloves. Herb Dean was way out of the way. Before Alex Pereira closed the distance. After the groin strike, which Jamahal claims doesn't land, which you can clearly hear that it does. And then Jamahal was the first one throwing the straight. And Alex Pereira, you know what? It was a pretty good shot, actually. It should have landed on Pereira, but Pereira barely ducks it, which is good. Barely ducking is good. Even though it might be lucky, it still worked in his favor. It's still very technical. And he landed his left hook. But Jamahal Hill needs to reaffirm, his excuses for that actually happening. And he's the one doing it on Twitter. He's the one talking all this shit, saying he's going to slump him. What he did to Khalil wasn't impressive. Yada, yada, yada. But when confronted, again, when Pereira offered him to spar, nothing. Let's do a bare knuckle. And then waits for Plinio to get involved. But yeah, all I'm saying is if Jamahal Hill gets past Yuri in January, this could possibly be, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, overall, the fourth biggest light heavyweight rivalry, the rematch between Hill and Pereira, especially if Jamahal Hill wants to poke at Pereira using Glover, because Glover's Pereira's mentor. He's showed him the MMA side of things. And yes, Jamahal Hill has gone after Glover as well, saying to Pereira that, I beat your boy 50-45'd him in, his own house in Brazil and that kind of stuff. But if he uses that at the press conference, that might get Alex Pereira riled up to the point where a few extra pay-per-views will be sold. And I said fourth because there's, I think, some rivalries a little bit bigger. Daniel Cormier, John Jones obviously being the biggest one. Rampage Rashad was big for its time. They did 1 million pay-per-views, The Ultimate Fighter. And then a bit more of a legacy one. For its time, it was just way bigger than, I say, a Pereira Hill right now. And that would be Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz, their rivalry. You can put those in any either order you want. But I think this one's right below those three at number 4. If Jamahal Hill keeps being delusional, and especially after an impressive knockout win over Yuri. Imagine if he does it quicker than Pereira in round 1. And then hops on the mic. And maybe Pereira, he's going everywhere. He's going to Korea and pretty much anywhere in the world. I know I said everywhere and I just listed Korea. He's gone everywhere. Alright, he's gone everywhere. Yeah. I think he'll be down to go to Los Angeles for a couple of days to, watch his two sons fight over, who could get the next title shot. I mean, Yuri can't. Because you can't get knocked out twice, by Pereira. You win one the first time, then you get the rematch. Okay, sure, it was a controversial stoppage nonetheless. And this time, alright, the UFC's looking for a quick short notice and you take the advantage to get your rematch. Sure. That's fine. But you can't go, 0-2 in knockouts, brutal knockouts, and, only win one fight after those 2 knockouts to demand, another rematch. Of course, the Rakic win being in between those knockout losses. But, so Yuri doesn't have any leverage, but Jamahal Hill has a whole lot of shit on his side. The delusion, the excuses, a call-out awaiting, an impressive performance against Yuri awaiting. That fight is 50-50, by the way. All I'm saying, the straights of Jamahal Hill could ping, Yuri on the chin and could knock him out pretty easily, or Yuri survives them and takes Jamahal into deep waters. And by deep waters, I mean the 3rd round, because it's not a 5-round fight and then gets like a TKO or something. But, hey, Jamahal Hill needs to keep trash talking, keep being delusional, and potentially get one of the biggest light heavyweight rivalries and make bank, make pay-per-views. This by itself, if promoted correctly, if an impressive performance is given by Jamahal Hill against Yuri Prochazka, this itself brings in 500K pay-per-view buys, especially with Pereira's ever-growing stardom. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the altercation. Jamahal Hill kind of bitching out of the spar. Alex Pereira's aura, it keeps going up, ain't going down anytime soon. And yeah, hope you enjoyed my quick thoughts on the situation, and peace.